Hello, this is Darren Chang, and I'm here to review a bag called the Domke Herald. I've moved a little bit away towards, the concept of being able to put everything that I have in my backpack into a bag that I'd be using, and instead make it much more compact, and obviously that means I'm going to have just some business essentials as well as my camera on board. It is sort of a messenger bag style because I do have the flap that covers everything. So again, it's not ideal for me, but it's much more understandable since you do have to protect the camera gear from the rain to have something that covers the entire bag. So I'm on board with that. Herald, it comes in a variety of different colors as well as surface preparations, meaning whether it's got the waterproofing on it or not. You'll see here that it is held with a single metal clip, and it's one of these spring clips here. It's a little fussy to use. I was disappointed. Obviously, they're trying to keep it classic looking, so they're going for one of these little antique clips rather than a Fastex buckle. But there's no doubt about it. A Fastex buckle is faster and more efficient, and potentially even more secure for that matter. All right, so I have it unclipped, but I just wanted to show you a couple things straight out, which is there is a large pocket on the flap that spans the entirety of the flap and goes up another inch or so above the zipper. It's not fleece lined or anything, it's a big old thing, so I've chosen to keep my wallet in this area. It's relatively secure because it does have a zipper, but obviously when you have your wallet on the outside, it does make it a little bit easier for somebody to steal it from you if they come up and look for it. And there's also a handle, centrally located handle, along the middle of the bag here, so that if I were to pick this up, the bag stays in a vertical alignment. And let's take a look underneath here. Nothing here on the underside other than there are two little Velcro patches which would attach to right here, but Domke was very smart in that they put covers, built-in covers, so that you don't hear that ripping sound. Of course, you can't use the Velcro in this case, but I'm not sure why you would need the Velcro if you have this to clasp the whole thing together. So smart move though by Domke to cover it up. All right, and then you can see here that we have two large organizer pockets. Now, when I say organizer pockets, they aren't terribly organized in terms of the options that they have. That's the one thing that you'd find with these types of photo-specific backpack or bags, which is that they're not typically, that's not always the case, but they're not typically going to have a lot of the little slots and little pockets here that you would have to organize things the way you would with a soft-sided briefcase. But it's not terrible, and in fact, I realized that if you give me a big enough set of pockets here and a couple of options, that's probably all I really need. So let's take a look. These pockets, they are expandable. I have them in their expanded mode. I unsnapped it, but if I wanted to make it a little bit more compact, I could snap this back together and it would keep it flusher up against the bag itself, but it doesn't really make sense to do that. I have it sort of at maximum capability here. It does come with a pocket that you can move around, so you may not be able to see this, but there's this red pocket here that adheres to the back side, which is the soft-sided part of the Velcro, and that can be moved into any other place in the bag that has this soft side, or this, I guess I'd call it the hook side of the Velcro. So I've chosen to put it in here so that you can see that it fits my iPhone pretty nicely in there. And then I also have a battery backup going on in here. There's this little point here that joins these two pockets, and it's connected at the top here. It's not connected in the middle, but the beauty of this is that there's a little space here where I can actually hang my pens or my stylus, so I've chosen to do that. And then in this other pocket, I have the styli that my students use, and I have all of my dongles. Here's my portable hard drive, dongle, cable, a whole bunch of other cables and dongles, and that's it for those front pockets. So I'm able to keep quite a bit of stuff in these two pockets because they're pretty voluminous, which is kind of nice. Let's scoot over to this side here. And you can see that they have these side pockets, and obviously one of the great things of the side pocket is that I can keep my coffee canister in that spot. But this is, and both of them are actually, this is an expandable pocket. And so the reality is that I could actually put something much larger in that. In fact, I can fit, which is what makes me very happy, this water bottle. This is a 750 milliliter plastic water bottle. Fits in there easily. And in fact, I could fit a full-size Nalgene bottle, the really fat Nalgene bottles, into here if I wanted to. You could also fit an entire camera in here. I mean, there's any number of things you could put in here because of the size of it. In fact, I wonder, here's my headphones. They can fit in there really easily too, inside their pretty big case there. And then in the front here, or on the extreme side of this pocket, you'll see that there's also a generic open-faced pocket. You could choose to put your iPhone in there. And since this whole thing has a cover to it, which I've tucked away, it actually would keep your iPhone covered and protected, and it wouldn't jump out and get lost. So there's some nice options here with these expandable pockets that you have going on here, which I think it may look a little funky. You know, you have a lot of zipper. I kind of wish they had decided not to make this zipper black. Maybe make it, I don't even know if there's a khaki colored zipper that's possible, but it would be nice to have it blend in a little bit more so that it doesn't look so schleppy when you have it unzipped. All right, so you have the exact same thing going on this side, and over here I have my car keys and I have my sunglasses. These pockets are actually stiff enough that they act a little bit more like eyeglasses cases, and so I actually don't have any fear of putting my sunglasses in here, even though it's not lined with anything. It's going to be sort of a protected enough area that I trust that my glasses won't get damaged. And then as we scoot along to the back of this bag, it's got a big open pocket here. And actually, let me first remove this. This is a key fob or a key hook area, and obviously this is where I have my keys right now, but it's not a great place for it. When this thing is on me, it actually puts my keys to the left side when the back of the bag is against my back. And I need my keys on my right side, and so it's not really an ideal place for this. So I'll probably never use this for my keys. I'm going to have to find a different place, and it makes more sense for me just to simply clip it to the place where the shoulder strap would go, because it's going to be much more accessible for me. So what we have here is an open-topped slot here, a file folder slot, and though it's not exactly roomy, it certainly can fit. Oh, that key fob is getting in the way there. That is a problem. It can fit a file folder without a problem, so that's nice. That means it's going to fit a magazine, your boarding pass, whatever it is that you might need. And then you can see here there's a piece of webbing here, and this webbing would slip over your rolling luggage, on the handle of your rolling luggage when you're cruising through the airport. And you can see here, this is where it becomes very photo specific here. What Domke has is this sort of padded divider set here, and it's very soft, so it will be able to protect your camera equipment. So I have my camera in there as well as one lens, and it does everything that this did for me, but it's built into the bag itself. Now, it is somewhat removable, but you should understand that it's not really removable because it's very hard to remove this whole thing. They have the hook side of the Velcro that entirely encircles the bag, and that's what holds this entire setup inside of it. So if you remove it and put it back in, it's near impossible to do it without completely messing up this whole thing. It's really unfortunate they just didn't make it. I don't know why you'd need the Velcro. It would be great if it was just something you could pull out, the whole insert you could pull out or put in, depending on what you wanted. The reason for that, sorry about that, got a phone call right in the middle of the review, and I don't remember where exactly I was. I think I was talking about the fact that if you separate the insert from the back wall, because of all the huge line of Velcro here, it essentially adheres right back there again, and so then you're constantly in this battle of opening up the space to get in there to access it. It's doable. It's just a little bit kludgy, frankly. So it'd be better if there was no Velcro at all, and that whole insert just sat in there and gravity held it in place, or maybe you leave Velcro on the front edge, but you wouldn't have it in the back edge. You'll also see that it has these funny little flaps on either side. They're a strange design because I'm not quite sure how they would actually prevent the entrance of rain. If you leave them like this, right, and you cover this up, obviously you can see here that it leaves two gaps for rain to get in. So then you fold them. But the problem is they're so stiff that they actually sort of invert. As you can see, they just sort of invert into the bag in that way. And now when you cover up the bag, rain still gets in, but it almost channels it into this area. It's like a funnel. So maybe the thing has to just loosen up a little bit, and eventually it will form something like this. But I think that it would have been better for them to have had an extension of this flap that went over this area rather than having these sort of strange ears. Which don't seem to be all that effective at what they're supposed to do, which is to prevent rain from getting inside the bag. I did not attach the shoulder strap on there yet. It looks like a nice looking cotton shoulder strap, and it does have some friction on it. There's no shoulder pad in any way here, but really this is the kind of thing where you shouldn't load it so heavily that it becomes uncomfortable to use with something like this. If you've gotten to the point where you've loaded it up and you need a heavier duty shoulder pad, then you probably need to think about unloading some of the equipment from this bag. I hope this was a useful review for you. Perhaps there's people who are watching this video that are more photographers than they are bag people like me, and this is going to help them decide whether or not the Domke Herald is the right bag for them. Okay, good luck finding your bag.